I just thought, I am not going down without a fight.
The mayor pro tem beat with a pistol. He shares his survival story with us, how he fought off the men who try to rob his salon. And some call it the curse of the lottery. Why a Craven County man says his big win put a target right on his back. And hear from the Beaufort County couple who barely escaped a fire that destroyed their historic home. Your News at 6 starts now.
This is 9 on your side at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Amanda Goodman. Jeff is off. A man dragged into his business and beaten with a gun. It happened around 10:30 last night in Bridgeton. That's when the mayor pro tem says he was locking up his salon when a man came up asking for directions. But as 9 on your side's Alex Freeman explains, he wanted a lot more than that. Alex.
Amanda, what this robber and 2 others really wanted was money. And earlier today, we talked with Mayor Pro Tem Charles Freeman, who says he thought he was going to die and wasn't going down without a fight.
I tried to go out the door and run, and they knocked me down in the parking lot and dragged me back in here.
It's obvious Charles Freeman knows what he's doing with scissor and comb in hand. But when 3 men burst into a salon Wednesday night and demanded money, he says he learned something new.
When you're fighting for survival, because they had told me they were going to kill me, they had guns. I believed them. I just thought, I am not going down without a fight.
Freeman, who's been on the Bridgeton Town Council for 14 years and Mayor Pro Tem for 4 terms, says he need one robber and made as much commotion as possible, hoping to get the attention of someone, anyone outside.
They pinned me up against the wall with the gun under my throat and told me to shut up or they were going to kill me.
Freeman says the robbers beat him to the ground with an assault rifle and began kicking him. The robbers demanded money, but only got Freeman's prescription medication and very little cash.
You know Charles, he is the nicest guy, and to have this happen, they just must not have known him, because nobody would do this to him.
After 10 minutes, he says it was all over, and despite the gash above his eye, Freeman is back at work the next day in good spirits.
No, nothing worse than a bad hair day.
Glad he's keeping his spirits up there. We talked with Bridgeton Police Lieutenant Rick Barney, who says they do have some persons of interest in the case. He says they'll use fingerprint evidence to help further their investigation. And in the meantime, Freeman says he plans to add additional security to his business and maybe even buy a gun. Amanda?
All right, Alex Freeman reporting. Thanks so much, Alex. A Craven County man is recovering from a fight with 2 armed robbers who broke into his house. The man says they kicked in his front door to steal his lottery money. But as 9 on your side's Madeline Wright shows us, he wasn't about to let them have it.
When his family is in danger, 44-year-old Kelvin Spears doesn't back down from a fight.
I goes in the come out the garage, go into the house. It's a guy waving a gun. Till I give me your money. I'm like, what money?
Spears was standing face to face with 2 armed robbers. His mother also there, watching on the side. They kicked in his front door Wednesday night around 10:30 at his home on Southwest Craven Middle School Road.
Then he finally got too close and we tussling over the gun. We in the floor fighting. The other guy hit me in the head a couple times.
He says they also busted his lip and scratched him under his eye. He says they were determined to get the $80,000 in lottery money he says he won last month.
They thought the lotto money was in the house for some reason from Thanksgiving.
Instead, Spears gave them a run for their money.
But they hit me in the back of the head. He ran out of the house first. Then the other guy, I had him, we choking him. You know, I was trying to keep him in there. He finally broke loose from me.
Spears says he lives here with his mother's 2 foster children, and his girlfriend, and he wasn't about to let any of them get hurt. He says that's what motivated him to fight back.
He ran through the glass. I had a pistol in the house. I shot 5 times at him.
And he didn't stop there.
I jumped in my car. I chased him to Kilson till I flattened the tire. I had to stop.
Spears says he would have kept going had it not been for that flat. He has a message for anyone who knows the would-be robbers.
Tell them come see me and show me the guys. That's all.
He says he'd like to get his hands on them again to teach them a lesson about breaking into his house. In New Bern, Madeline Wright, 9 on your side.
Deputies are still searching for the 2 would-be robbers. They were last seen driving a Dodge Durango on Highway 55. Meanwhile, the search is on tonight for a man and woman who robbed a grocery store in Williamston. Employees at the Food Lion on East Boulevard told police the duo came in armed with a handgun and demanded money. It happened last night just before 10 o'clock. Police would not say how much money the robbers took. No one was injured. If you know anything, call the Martin County Crime Stoppers. Well, Storm Team 9 says things will clear up just in time for the weekend, but there are some showers on the horizon. Chief Meteorologist David Sawyer is here to tell us when. Hi there.
That's
It's
right.
rain and not snow, right?
That is right.
Okay.
When the rain does come, Amanda, you're right, it will be in the liquid form, but looks like it's going to hold off for a little while.
Good.
How about some sunshine as we make our way into the final day of the work week? Skies are clearing out right now, also across the 9 on your side viewing area. Live Viper 9, now a clean sweep of the east, meaning no rain. And we'll zoom on in and take a look at some of the featured areas. We can go anywhere in the 9 on your side viewing area. We'll stop in Martin County this afternoon into this evening and zoom right on down with our high-res mapping technology. Riverside High School, for example, with the track and field over toward the football field as well in the Williamston area. Right now it's chilly in Williamston. Temperatures are in the mid-40s. Factor in a north wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's going to feel even colder than that. And along the coast, too, we have some very brisk breezes blowing between 10 and 15 miles per hour, making it feel like the upper 30s to lower 40s. So bundle up if you're out and about this evening. Temperatures will fall through the 40s. The actual temperatures will. But as I said, with those winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour, gusting a little higher at the coast, it's going to feel like the 30s with the wind chill factor this evening. Skies will clear on out, and that leads us to a sunny forecast on Friday as this high pressure system settles on in. We'll have details about that and your weekend weather. And yes, as Amanda mentioned, we do have some showers on the way. I'll talk timing on that as well.
All right, David, thank you. A couple here in the east is grateful for their smoke detector tonight. Though it couldn't save their 100-year-old home, they say it saved their lives after a fire broke into their house early this morning. 9 on your side's Erica Anderson joins us now live in the newsroom. Erica.
John Bishop Jr. grew up in his Beaufort County home, but this morning all he could do was stand by and watch as it burned to the ground.
I was shocked, and I'm still shocked. This is my home. This is where I was raised, where my sisters were raised. And now it's on the ground.
John Bishop Jr. still can't believe the house he grew up in is gone. Around 3:45 this morning, Bishop says his wife heard a smoke detector beeping. When he went to check it out, that's when he saw his hallway filled with flames. So he and his wife saved their bird and got out.
Went back in and saw the smoke and the fire, and the smoke was so bad I had to get out. And by the time I got out, one of the boys from Sydney Fire Department was here. And then the wind was blowing, it was raining, and there wasn't anything you can do with a 100-year-old house.
There are 2 items that were untouched by this fire that emergency rescue crews found. These 2 ceramic guardian angels.
We were that close. Hadn't have been a smoke detector, probably wouldn't have got out alive. Somebody was looking out for us.
Bishop Jr. and his wife say they are determined to rebuild, no matter how long it takes.
This is my home. And my daddy wanted it this way. And we'll put something back. I don't quit that easy. And it's going to take more from this to run me off this place.
Now, the couple says family and friends have all come by this morning and today to help them out with anything they need. The American Red Cross is also helping the couple. Amanda?
Now, Erica, obviously it's so close to Christmas. Had the couple gotten a lot of gifts? Did they lose a lot of presents?
Well, ironically, I spoke with the wife today, and she said just last week she took most of their Christmas gifts to one of their family members' house in Washington. So they were able to salvage some of those gifts, and they will be able to give them on Christmas. Back to you.
Another silver lining. All right, Erica Anderson reporting live. Thanks so much. Troopers are investigating a fatal accident in Duplin County. It happened on Highway 111 in Chinkapin just before 10 o'clock last night. Troopers say 17-year-old Alex Hayes crossed the center line and hit 36-year-old Jolene Edens head-on. Edens died from her injuries. Hayes is still in the hospital tonight. Troopers say he is not in critical condition. Investigators say charges are also pending. He's guided Pirate Sports since 2004, and only weeks after he put ECU football in the Big East, Athletic Director Terry Holland has decided to step down. Holland says it's just simply his time to move aside. The 7-year-old AD insists that it's not a retirement, that he will stay on with ECU Athletics until the end of his contract in 2014. Holland will continue to oversee operations of the athletic department until a new AD is found. In his years in Greenville, Holland has grown finances and upgraded facilities, but his greatest memories are from the field.
Some of the wins we've had, particularly in football, and of course beating NC State in basketball, and that meant they'll never come back here to play us again. But other than that, it was a great night. But we have had some really good wins here in the stadium in particular.
Coach Holland looks back on football games like the West Virginia win and this year's Marshall win as some of his best times with the purple and gold. We will have much more on this story coming up later in sports. Our governor-elect is already stacking his cabinet. Today, Pat McCrory had his first news conference since election week. McCrory named 3 people who will join him in the executive office. Dr. Aldona Wos of Greensboro will become his Secretary of Health and Human Services. John Zvarla will take on the role of Secretary of Environment and Natural Resources. McCrory also appointed his Chief of Staff, Thomas Stith. The governor-elect will be sworn in on January 5th. He says he would like to have his entire cabinet in place by then. Well, the fall off that fiscal cliff is looming, and it's crunch time on Capitol Hill. Next on 9, we'll talk about what's going on behind those closed doors at the White House.
Your forecast features chilly temperatures tonight, but milder weather heading into the weekend. We'll have those details. Plus, as you head out and about, we're chugging toward a weekend as well. Your forecast right after the break.